Hello, assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Sarfaraz, education wala, and today we are exploring an important and life-changing topic: how to write better and communicate your ideas clearly. And in this session, we'll be discussing this powerful subject with Maya. So let's go to Maya.
Hi, Sarfaraz. How are you?
Good, Maya. Today we are going to talk about a way what it really means to write clearly, how to express idea in a simple, effective way, and how good writing improve communication both personally and professionally. Let's get started.
Yeah, I gotcha. It's funny, right? How often we assume clear writing is just obvious, but it's actually a skill. Where do you want to start with that? Personal communication, professional, or just the core principles of making ideas land?
Good, Maya. My first question is, what does clear writing actually mean?
Okay, good question. Clearly clear writing. Means your reader understands your main point the first time without having to reread or guess. It's not about showing off how smart you are. It's about respecting your audience's time. Basically, it's writing that's precise, concise, and structured. Less fluff, more substance. It prioritizes what the reader needs to know, not what you want to say. Does that make sense?
Good, Maya. My next question: why do people struggle to express their ideas in writing?
Right. That's the $1,000,000 question, isn't it? Honestly, I think it's usually a cocktail of things. A big part is fear of sounding stupid, fear of not being understood. That leads to overcomplicating things, using jargon as a shield. Then there's just not really being clear on the idea in your own head to begin with. And honestly, a lot of people never really get taught how to write effectively. It's assumed you just pick it up. What do you think are the biggest hurdles for you personally?
Good, Maya. How important is understanding this idealness when writing?
You mean understanding your audience?
Yes.
Huge. Absolutely huge. It's the foundation of everything. If you don't know who you're writing for, you're just shouting into the void. You need to know their level of knowledge, their interests, what they already believe. Because what's crystal clear to you might be totally confusing to someone else. Like it's about empathy, really, putting yourself in their shoes. So if you're writing a technical report for engineers, you can throw in the jargon. But if you're explaining something to your grandma, different story. What's your take on how much you should tailor your writing to your audience? Do you think it's possible to go too far?
Uh, what role does structure play in effective writing?
Structure is massively important. It's like the skeleton of your writing. Without it, everything just flops. A good structure helps your reader follow your train of thought, understand the relationships between your ideas, and remember what you've said. Think about the classic intro body conclusion. It's simple but effective. Within the body, using headings, subheadings, bullet points. Those are all about making information digestible. It's less about being creative and more about being helpful. Do you find yourself outlining before you write, or do you tend to just dive in?
My next question is, how can someone make their writing more simple and readable?
Okay, practical stuff. A few things. First, shorter sentences. Seriously, people skim. Long, winding sentences just get lost. Second, active voice instead of passive. The ball was thrown by John versus John threw the ball. The latter is much more direct. Third, ditch the jargon and fancy words when you can say the same thing plainly. Fourth, read it aloud. You'll catch awkward phrasing that way. And finally, get feedback. Fresh eyes are invaluable. Do any of those resonate with you more than others or feel particularly challenging?
Maya, my next question is why is clarity more important than using big or complex words?
Good question. Because clarity is about connection, and complex words are often about distance. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that using sophisticated language makes you sound smarter, but it usually just makes you sound pretentious or worse, incomprehensible. The goal isn't to impress people with your vocabulary, it's to transfer understanding. A simple, well chosen word that everyone understands is 1,000 times more effective than a complicated one that only a few people recognize. It's about serving the message, not showing off. Plus, big words can sometimes obscure your thinking even to yourself. You agree?
My next question is Maya, what technique help beginners improve their writing style?
Okay, for beginners, I'd
Yes.
say focus on imitation at first. Find writers whose style you admire and try to copy them. Not plagiarize, obviously, but mimic their sentence structure, their word choice, their overall tone. It's a great way to learn the mechanics of good writing. Also, practice regularly, even if it's just for 15 to 20 minutes a day, and get feedback, brutally honest feedback if possible. Oh, and one more thing read. Read a lot. Reading exposes you to different styles and helps you internalize what works and what doesn't. What do you usually read?
How can someone avoid confusion or mixed message in writing?
Okay, avoiding confusion. That's key. First, one idea per paragraph. Really, if you find yourself jumping between topics, break it up. Second, use transition words and phrases to show the connections between your ideas. However, therefore, in addition, etc. They act like signposts for your reader. Third, be specific. Avoid vague language and generalities. And finally, reread your work from the perspective of someone who knows nothing about the topic. Does it make sense? Is there anything that could be misinterpreted? Any ambiguities? It's about actively trying to poke holes in your own logic. Do you find yourself often rereading your work and spotting things you missed?
Maya, my next question, what is the role of editing and writing in good communication?
Editing is where writing goes from okay to great. Seriously. Writing is getting your thoughts on the page. Editing is shaping those thoughts into something clear, concise, and compelling. It's about refining your work, tightening your prose, and catching errors. Think of it as sculpting. You start with a rough block of stone, and then you chip away until you reveal the form within. It's also really hard to edit your own work effectively because you already know what you meant to say. That's why getting another set of eyes is so valuable. Do you enjoy the editing process or do you find it a slog?
Maya, my last question, Maya, what mindset should people adopt to write clearly and confidently?
Hmm, that's a good one to end on. I think the mindset is about service, not performance. Forget trying to impress anyone. Focus on conveying your ideas as clearly and efficiently as possible. Think about what your reader needs to know, not what you want to say. Also, embrace imperfection. Your first draft will almost certainly be messy and flawed. That's okay. The goal isn't to write perfectly, it's to communicate effectively. And finally, remember that writing is a skill that improves with practice. The more you do it, the easier it will become. Does that resonate with you? It's about being helpful more than anything.
Uh, Maya,
Awesome. Well, I'm glad we covered that.
Maya, clearly writing comes from clear thinking when you organize your thoughts and simplify your message and write with your communication becomes powerful, confident, and impactful. So thank you so much, Maya.
Oh, all right. That's a really good takeaway. Clear writing from clear thinking. I totally agree. And you're very welcome, Sarfaraz. It was a good chat. Glad I could help.
So, and thank you all for watching today's session. If this lesson helped you learned something valuable. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join me tomorrow for another meaningful daily life lesson. Stay focused, keep improving, and communicate with confidence. So, Allah Hafiz.